All right, good afternoon and a happy Thanksgiving to all our curling fans. Sorry for the little bit delayed start there. We had a little bit of technical problems, but we are back up and running. We are happy to bring you the final of the Curlers Quarter Autumn Gold Curling Classic. We have a classic game on the final right now between our A qualifier from Korea and our defending champions, Team Gim, and out of Japan, our C qualifiers, Team Nakamura. My name is James Runge, and I am joined here by our great commentator, Austin. Austin, my friend, we get to do another commentating together, and we get to do the final. Welcome.
Well, thank you, and welcome to everyone tuning into this final, and it's a pleasure for me to do it. It's my first Autumn Gold final that I've ever commentated, so this is going to be fun tonight.
This is my first Autumn Gold commentating at all, so now I'm glad I get to have you here in the booth with me for the final to break it in, and we're going to have a good time. So good morning to everyone joining us in the chat from Korea. Chris, welcome back. Drop us a line in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We're happy to have you here. So, Austin, as we were waiting for the start of this to happen, I know you were taking a close eye on what's going on in this opening end. As we see Gim with Hammer, they are throwing the yellow rocks. Maybe break us down. How did we get to this point in this opening end?
Basically, Team Gem making a lot of really good, solid draws, putting their rocks in the right spots, and just some slight little misses and errors from Team Nakamura.
It's going to be an interesting final here. Remember, both these teams have already played 2 games today, quarterfinal and semifinal victories. And in the case of Team Nakamura, they were also playing late last night in that C qualifier to get here. One thing we may watch out on their team is just if fatigue potentially could sit in. It might happen, so we'll keep an eye on that. Gim starting off looking pretty strong in this opening end. Hey, Austin?
Very strong, and now it is an important shot, either a small hit and roll to a freeze or maybe a double be played by the skip who throws third rocks, Mayori Nakamura. I've seen this Japanese team in quite a few Japanese events this season and last, and they seem to play very, very strong, especially under big game scenarios.
Definitely. They've got a lot of games under their sliders, not just this weekend, but already this season. And don't let the ranking difference fool you here between them. Obviously, Team Gim sitting number 4 in the world. Team Nakamura sitting in the mid-60 range. But don't let those numbers trick you. Nakamura is very deserving to be here. They've been some amazingly good teams to get to this final. So ranking numbers are just there for ranking numbers, but we should still have a really great even match here.
And Nakamura did make a fantastic double there. Stick around to lie 2, so Kim Min-ji is going to look to hit and stay in lie 3.
This is last of third stones here in the opening end of our finale. Yeah, gotta love when you're throwing the hits and nice and calm reaction from your line caller.
Good, solid control weight there.
Yes. Gim sitting the 3, starting at skip stones here. So Nakamura, obviously, like you said, like we showed there with the broom, gonna do the hit and try to get the roll behind those guards sitting at the front of the house right now, and try to maybe take this end away here in the skipper stones.
And still a lot of work to do now for the last rock thrower for Team Nakamura, Misake Tanaka. And it's going to start with probably a long hit and roll here. So that's why they're signaling, tapping about the shoulder area, which means basically want normal weight on this hit.
Just looks like a nice clean sweep right now.
And an interesting comment from Clock Basher saying, it's Japan versus Korea everywhere. We've got 3 different finals.
It is. I believe both finals out at this 2 Sal's in Ontario are both Korea versus Japan finals for the men and the women. And, of course, we've got one here. So Asian domination this weekend right now, and Korea and Japan, the last 2 countries standing.
And fantastic hit and roll there by Tanaka, dead underneath, and that could potentially kill the chances of a big end scored by Team Gim here.
Yes. Just taking some time, just going down, talking it over just to make sure we're throwing this the right way, getting everything under control. Smart move right there, just taking some time.
Absolutely. See, I remembered what we talked about last night.
We discussed last night, Austin's an absolutely guy, and I'm usually a definitely guy, so you're going to hear potentially both of those words come out of our mouths when we see good hits today.
So we got Kim Yoon-ji playing either a freeze or a come around top 4. I personally would just prefer going top 4 here.
Yeah, I think she's going down and just going to, I think she's going back and freezing, it looks like, from where the broom was placed back there. Not a brush to it, though, right now, and it's really hanging out there. So we're going to have our first, probably our first little miss of the game here. Real big advantage here for Nakamura now to take this end away from Team Gim. And apply some power here and push for the force at the very least.
And if Tanaka can place a nice come around here, definitely a good chance for a steal.
Yep, steal is definitely in play here in this opening end. So, of course, Austin and I are not fluent in Japanese or Korean, so we will. The players are mic'd. You might be able to hear some of them. We will do our best to try to figure out what's going on. But, of course, if you are in the chat and you speak Korean or Japanese and you want to drop in what's going on, please do share it with us, but also share it with your fellow curling watchers. It takes a village sometimes.
Yep. And I think the best way to just see the communication and discussion of shots is maybe just to follow the brooms.
Yep. Yeah, both teams really good on doing that. So that definitely helps both of us in the booth here and all of you watching at home.
They're a little hesitant on playing the come around. It's like they were sliding towards maybe hitting one of those back yellows, but it looks like they're going back to the come around draw now.
Yeah, it looked like the original call, you're right, Austin, was to come down to that back yellow just in the back of the 8 foot there on the side and hit it, but they've made the call. They've switched up. Now they're going to do the come around.
I think they originally called for the come around and they showed a little hesitation towards it.
Back and forth. Now we just saw Team Gim's draw out here stay outside and drift, but different way call here, obviously, with a guard.
Yeah. Interesting that they're actually playing the guard. I think I would have tried to go around top 4 and really put the pressure on, but this isn't a bad call either.
No, good call.
Didn't quite curl enough, though, so there could potentially be a chance for a hack weight tap back through the port, and if this is made, Kim Yoon-ji could get 4.
Might be tough to hold the shooter, though, right? Depending on how much you said. That red rock is buried pretty good there, so she might just be picking it. Depends on how much curl they think they can get here, right? And I think that's what they're discussing right now.
I think even if we get the red on the high side, it will go onto those yellow catchers, and that might slow the rock down, though.
Yeah.
오케이. 12 반. 그냥 센터만 언니가 보면 될 것 같아. 네.
Yeah, good team chat there and talking about where to put the broom, what kind of weight, making sure all 4 players are on the same page here. And this is what we see from Team Gim often, is they'll come down, they clean the path together, and get really set in the hack and ready for a big shot. This will be the last shot of the opening end here in our finale.
잡을까? 진짜 조금만 더. 여기. 팔.
Here we go, final shot, opening end.
And you can tell right away, not a good release there from Yoon-ji.
예나. 예나 계속. 언니 진짜 많아.
It's a sweep to get it through.
하이. 그만. 된다. 계속. 가자.
Take that right by.
And
And it will only be, it looks like for, what do you think there, Austin? 1 or 2? They're going to take a look, obviously. Tough from camera angle, but
I think
you saw Nakamura put the broom down for 2?
2. Yep.
Yep. Good calls. Good shot, though, from Gim. Maybe people could say maybe missed opportunity to score a bigger one. But, hey, getting 2 in the opening with hammer, that's definitely a win, of course. So we'll take a quick break here after the first end. We'll be back with end number 2 action, our final at the Autumn Gold Curling Classic. Team Nakamura will have hammer.
이렇게 갈 때 여기 아우터는 좀 안 나가는 것 같아서.
We are back for the second end. We're just going to do some team introductions. For Team Gim, the lead is Seo Yeun. The second is Kim Soo-ji. Third is Kim Min-ji. The skip is Kim Yoon-ji.
Nicely done, Austin. So obviously we'll see Gim not having hammer here. They're going to bring up the front there. And it's going to drift right into the top. It's just outside the rings from the angle that we have right here, looking to the side. I know it might be hard to tell from that camera angle right now, but we can kind of see it from our angled view from our seating in the commentary booth. And of course, Team Nakamura will have hammer here. Their lead is Hiroi Ichino. Our second is Haruka Kihara. And of course, our skip, Miori Nakamura. And throwing 4th stones, Misaki Tanaka.
And there's Chris. Good pronounced, but not best. I mean, I work on it. I try my hardest. It's a little easier for me because I see Team Gim all the time doing slams. So
we tried our best, for sure. As we said, neither of us are fluent in either of the 2 languages on the ice right now. Nice come around there for Team Nakamura.
Deep behind the T line.
괜찮아. 네. 뒤에 있나 봐요.
See, Chris supports our attempt.
Come around now for Seo Yeun.
괜찮아.
진짜 많이 세.
아웃.
안 돼, 안 돼.
라인
아예 안 만나면 웨이트가 진짜 살아가는 것 같아.
As you heard
어.
T was called there. It's a little bit heavier than what they were wanting. It's not going to cut over
뒤로 가야 되나?
that weight.
아니 기다려 그냥. 라인도 되게 안 떨어지네.
그러네.
타이트하게 잡아줄게.
Just bites in at the back there in the 12 foot.
Very heavy out of the hand there.
Yeah.
아.
Could be seeing a little bit like we said earlier with both these teams. This is their 3rd game in a row. They were just off the ice not that long ago from winning their 2 semifinal games. Very quick turnaround. So I'd see a little bit of fatigue, get your body back into the game, get you amped up now for a final. Totally understandable that could happen in the early couple ends of this game.
Both teams beating some very good teams earlier today to get to the finals.
Definitely.
Team Gim, they defeated Jesse Hunkin in the quarters and then Beth Peterson in the semis. And for Team Nakamura in the quarters, they beat their rivals Satsuki Fujisawa and her team. And then in the semis, they beat EC's Corinne Brown.
And just like last year's final, we have an A qualifier versus C qualifier battle again.
Yes,
And
it's-
obviously Team Gim was our A qualifier last year and won the title, so they're hoping that that's their lucky road to a repeat potentially.
Technically, I think Gim was a B qualifier last year because they lost the A qualifier there to Kayla Skrillex.
Good call, good call.
Oh!
This is why Austin's in the booth, folks, with me.
자,
Nice run back.
Perfect run back by Kim Soo-ji.
그런 거 같아.
Absolutely perfect.
Good job.
Dead buried now.
이스가 그런
뭐 비슷해 보였어.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot right there. So what's their call on this one there, Austin?
They're playing freeze here, trying to, not so worried about getting shot rock here, just trying to get on top there. So get on top.
Not right there. Nakamura has their broom right where they want it. Thank you, Team Nakamura. Helps us out.
맞아요. 여기가 생각보다 잘 잡혀요.
The weight was close on that, maybe just wanted a little bit more finish.
Yep.
아니 한 번 더 보는 건 별로야?
한 번 더.
일단 지금 내 느낌이 한 80 정도 보이긴 해.
And Team Nakamura was just on the feature sheet for the
생각해서 괜찮은 걸로
semifinals. Is that
잡아줘요.
correct, Austin? Were they on sheet 5 for their semifinal against Corinne Brown?
Yeah,
They were.
yeah.
So they were just on this sheet, whereas Team Gim is coming off playing the semifinal on the one sheet over on sheet number 6.
플린.
I think there's a slight chance that it might be a little bit of an advantage to Team Nakamura, but
Could be. Oh,
that is not an awesome run back there.
yeah, that.
쏘리.
And then the hand goes up. Sorry, call.
끝에 훅 떨어졌네. 분 저쪽에 있었는데.
Clears the house out, but unfortunately clears the house out of the color you're throwing. So now Nakamura, good opportunity here, sitting top 4 and behind cover.
Absolutely great opportunity now for Haruka.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the goal for Team Nakamura will be to get those 2 points back that they gave up in the first.
Yep. A good opportunity here to go and bring some play into the wings. That'll help you, like you just said, score that multiple points, maybe 2, maybe 3, who knows. You need this one to stick around. Just bites on the back there, eh?
Yep.
짜요?
어.
Now it's time for
Bring on
Kim
another run back machine.
Minji, run back. Yeah, Minji is one of the best upweight throwers that we have in the sport right now,
Yeah.
regardless of gender, in my opinion.
And that's why right there, look at that. Nicely done. Gets the run back. But the guard, her shooter now is a guard 2, so Nakamura has something still to play behind to sit her 2. So still a little bit of an advantage right now for the Japanese team.
Chance now for Miori. Get around.
And if she does perfectly, we may be just seeing yet another run back again. Might be a theme in this end right now for Team Gim.
Yeah. That is right, Chris. Minji definitely is a run back and take out master.
Yeah, good call.
The one thing that I think has been a little off so far for her personally has been her touch weight. It has been her touch shots, her draws, her hack weight tap backs, but she's definitely done a good job of that so far today.
Just rubs the front one there. Bit of a missed
들어갔나?
opportunity there for Team Nakamura.
그래도
Did leave a tight corner, so it's not horrible.
Yep.
아, 노말.
Just a nose hit now.
Yep.
Want to make sure you keep your shooter around here.
Yeah, you like this call, Austin, of taking out the one that's kind of counting right now, or would you prefer to maybe go around the front two and get there first? What do you think? You like this call?
I think you have to be conservative here and make sure you hit that red. It's not worth going around it and not making it perfectly, and then you're giving Nakamura another chance to set up a deuce.
Yep, good call.
아이고.
So now the question really comes for Nakamura, what we were just talking about.
너무 약했다.
뭐가?
웨이트가요.
The thing is, it's really hard to get around that red corner guard right now, so we're just going to go around the yellow one and risk another run back.
Yep.
이런 느낌인 거.
Still a good opportunity here for Nakamura. She gets around there. Nothing wrong with forcing the hand for the runbacks. Yes, Team Gim can make them, as we've seen, quite capable, but it's tough to make that many runbacks in a row in the same end.
It absolutely is.
근데 저만 약해 보여요?
So good opportunity here if they can get this tucked in.
보이긴 하겠다.
Hanging out there though right now.
냅둘게요.
냅둬, 있다.
So perfect angle view right there. You can see it's not finished the way that they were kind of hoping to get around that yellow. So Gim's gonna have a nice
네.
open hit here.
웨이트 12번 괜찮죠? 이쪽 면은?
The weight was close. I just feel like taking less ice would have
Yeah.
been pretty good there.
4초. 너무
Again, they anticipate the movement, but it can be easy to get fooled
Yes, for sure.
early on in the game, especially when you don't get as much movement as you want.
And we've seen that happen a few times watching. Obviously, this is the common streaming sheet that we've had all weekend. So we have seen that happen occasionally on the games, especially on one side of the sheet versus the other. Of course, both these teams being here in the final will be aware of that. But it is a new day, and we should note it is extremely warm outside at 26 degrees Celsius here in Calgary. And this is the only sheet on the ice, remember, because this is the final. So a little different from before, where we always had 1, 2, 7 other sheets in play.
라인 괜찮아요. 클린.
I'm not used to it being this hot around this time of year in Calgary at all.
Gorgeous.
수지 가야 돼. 수지 계속.
There you go.
수입이요?
12.
Rolls over to the open side.
Not too sure she wanted to roll that far, though.
Mm-hmm.
How fast is the ice?
뭐야?
Fast. The balance sheet going. That's
Good opportunity here. Nakamura's going to do the hit and roll.
Of course, the fear is you're probably, even if you roll the shooter underneath, you probably will be behind the tee line.
And there's always that jam potential over there too, depending on where you hit this, right?
Yeah.
On that yellow.
Yeah, one thing that we noticed about Team Nakamura is they are one of these slower teams. Like, they don't play as quickly as most of the teams here, so expect a lot of long discussions and the players taking a lot of time in the hack.
Yeah, they take their time for their pregame routine. There you go, nose hit there. As we've seen pretty much through the week, especially on this sheet that we've been watching, hit and rolls, it always sounds easy in theory, but hit and rolls are very difficult to make. We heard Chelsea Carey on the commentary stream yesterday even talking about that hit and rolls, everyone says, oh yeah, just hit and roll behind, but it sounds a lot easier than it is to make as a player and as a shooter when you're sitting in the hack. So they're not an easy shot.
No, you have to get the weight right. You got to get the line call right.
Mm-hmm.
좋아요.
Not really too sure if Gim wants to roll inside here. Even just a nose hit, I think, is okay for her.
Yeah, I think I saw the nose hit call there, just because they want to avoid the jam on the back too now, with this being Gim's last rock here in the second end.
것 같아. 아니야. 수지
A
언니
nose hit would be good. They'd be sitting 2.
계속. 언니 와야 돼. 얇아.
웨이트는 오히려 딱인데.
And the roll out there. So this will give Nakamura an opportunity to get the blank on the end.
Again, like we saw with that shot that she kind of sort of made in the first end, just popping it on the release. Maybe a little bit heavy as well.
생각보다 안 떨어져.
And her rocks just aren't curling as much.
But I think both teams really honestly will be quite happy with how this end is gone. Gim, sure, would always like to force, but earlier it looked like potentially Nakamura would be setting up nicely for the 2. They got out of that. Nakamura, of course, might be disappointed to not score a 2, but the opportunity to get the blank and retain hammer in the third end is also a win for them in this early part of the game. Brooms go up. That's always a really good sign. There's the blank here in the second end. So we will go to end number 3 with Gim leading 2-0. Nakamura will retain hammer when we come back.
편하게 놓긴 했는데.
All right, welcome back to the Calgary Curling Club on this beautiful Monday afternoon here. And before as this end is just getting started, let's do a quick shout out to our title sponsor, Curler's Corner. Without them, it'd be pretty difficult to do such a hugely successful international event. So shout out to Curler's Corner. Thank you for being our title sponsor for the Autumn Gold Curling Classic. And if you are in Calgary, drop on by to the Calgary Curling Club and step into Curler's Corner. Say hi to Bernice. They've got everything you need to supply your curling game.
1호.
So the first rock for So Yeun, little bit heavy, back 4. So Team Nakamura put up that corner.
힘들 것 같은데.
You know how much I love my corner and my center guards, James.
We love our corner guards. We want to see some play to the wings, right, Austin? Every game we've commentated together, we keep talking about corner guards, play to the wings. Let's see them happening.
Yeah.
Could this be the end? We get to see our corner guards in play, Austin.
언니 그냥 웨이트만?
Little higher than I think they wanted,
네.
but it is usable.
Yep.
And because the first rock stopped so deep for Team Gim, I think Yoonji's not really upset about going in on this second one either.
Yep. Yeah, it looked like she placed her brim just above that shot. It's higher up in the house, but it's the same area.
여덟. 일곱 여덟.
Not a touch of the brim to it yet.
어디가 좋아? 라인 좋아. 7.
Is this one going to get there on its own, maybe?
아직 여덟이에요. 4-4.
티까지 올것 같은데. 아예 붙겠다 야.
네, 네
Definitely
죽었어요.
got the slide to it on that path, hey?
Yeah.
자,
There we go.
더 잡았어.
아 근데
Well, if you have to do a draw for the button, that was pretty perfect on its own.
Yeah.
Could be good, helpful information just on for Team Gim on watching the numbers there too. Good thing to keep in their back pocket for future reference.
I'm a little unsure about the weight that they're throwing on this hit. Looks like she's throwing normal, and I personally think that's a little bit too much.
Blows it up though.
가져야 되나?
Everything out the door.
Yeah, the good news for Team Nakamura is it is the 5 rock rule, and Team Gim cannot peel that guard just yet.
Right. Yep. You saw for a second Team Gim was kind of walking up there to thing, and they're like, oh, yes, right. Got to go one more here.
Yeah, just put up a nice tight center guard here.
Yep.
넷,
넷. 같이 왔는데 5까지.
잠깐만.
넷, 넷,
다섯.
넷, 다섯,
네.
넷, 다섯,
다섯 좋아.
넷, 다섯,
Always here with Team Gim. Really good team communication on every shot.
넷, 다섯,
다섯. 다섯.
어떻게 정신이 없니?
And of course, Team Gim has a bit of a different coach than what we've seen in the past, as they've actually hired Guy Hemmings to coach them for a decent part of this season. Of course, Guy, 1999 Brier runner-up. Everyone remembers that draw that he made to win the semifinal against Saskatchewan's Gerald Shimko.
Yep. And the hair. Can't forget Guy Hemmings' hair. Classic hair. Everyone remembers. Gotta love it. We gotta get that hair in the men of curling calendar. I think it's just deserving. I feel like he deserves that.
I think we need to too, yeah. But we got Haruka playing a nice come around underneath the
Look
corner
at
right
that
now.
go though. Hey.
Yeah, just really.
Drifted, walked over. I wonder if it maybe picked up something. That really kind of shifted over there.
I think it did, yeah.
네.
And when that happens, there's just no way to save it.
No, kind of picked up its own legs and decided to walk there on its own. So unfortunate error there. But like we said, if it picked up something, nothing you can do. It is what happens sometimes.
So now Kim Soo-ji has a chance to get around her own center guard.
Yeah, good opportunity here.
언니 가.
여덟 일곱. 좋아요.
좋아해?
여덟.
Yeah, nice weight here. Really nice weight call.
네, 푸시한데.
언니 잘
여기가
닦았다.
소리가 안 나나.
Yeah, nice finish. Nice shot. Nice draw.
Yeah.
Sitting top four.
Basically, at this point, yeah, you do need to play a run back double. And roll your shooter over to the side, over to the corner.
Now you see them just lining up the exact spot they want to hit.
근데 또 안 땡기면 안 가.
There we go with the delivery coming down right now. There we go. Boom. House blows up again. Again, we're left with an open house. Nice run back there.
Yep.
Gets everything out.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. It's amazing to see how much women's curling has grown in the last few years, especially when it comes to these sorts of run backs, these upweight shots.
Definitely.
I feel like a lot of these women do throw it as hard and as accurately as the men do.
Most definitely. It's really good. That's one of the great advantages of an event like this, right? Steeped in deep tradition of women's curling, supporting women's curling, and getting to see and showcase the best women's curlers in around the world being at this event on a regular basis. So you're watching two of the best right here playing a great game. And then an overcrop, and so that's my fault. Just as I'm saying how perfect they're both playing so great, and then we see a little error. So my bad. I'll own that one for you, Team Gim. My fault. The commentator jinx, Austin. We kind of got to watch ourselves. We bring that sometimes to the teams, hey?
Yeah, definitely. It could happen from time to time. But it just seems that Team Gim especially is just having some trouble with some of the paths over on that side. Those just seem a little slower than they're used to.
Yep.
And they're wrecking on guards. So
Luckily for them, though, like you're saying, even with the small misses, none of their misses have been catastrophic to ruin an end for them or really give too much of a huge advantage to Nakamura. So if you are going to have those unfortunate misses, which it's going to happen, it is sport and human nature, at least you want it to be in an opportune time where it's not going to be detrimental. So far it hasn't been that way right now anyway.
And if I was coaching one of these two teams right in the moment, I would probably say, yeah, make sure you throw a little extra weight down this path because it does seem to be running or kind of pretty slow at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You get the full team out there on sweeping this one. They do tuck it a little bit around, though. Got those double guards going, but there's enough there, obviously, for Team Gim to look at, hit and roll over. There you go, perfect view. Thank you, Team Camera. You guys got it under control, showing a beautiful view there. Couldn't do it without our wonderful camera crew team up here in the commentary booth with us.
I understand. That's outstanding work by you guys, by the way.
We're not done yet.
We're giving you guys credit for the whole game. Come on now. This is team positive up here.
Yeah. And Clock Basher just said that Yusuke Morizumi won his final. Thank you very much.
So score 1 for Japan right now, and that, like we were talking about earlier, we had 3 finals between Japan and Korea. Japan has the 1-0 lead on this Thanksgiving Monday in Canada.
And I'm going to wager a guess as to what the women's final is. Right now, I would think that it would be Kim Yoon-jung against Team Sayaka Yoshimura being skipped by Yuna Kotani.
That is correct. So we got the opportunity here to see if Nakamura can get the hit and a little flop over behind some coverage up front. Again, they're trying to set up for at least their deuce here with hammer in 3. Went for the roll and unfortunately just goes out of the rings. But you got to go for those rolls when you got those red rocks in front, which are an advantage to you. Got to go for it to try to make it happen.
I still think they're throwing a little bit too much weight on some of these hits. Again, another normal weight hitter, another normal weight hit. I would have just thrown either more of a bumper to control weight on it.
I wonder if both teams are getting confused too a little bit with watching each other throwing. Sometimes you kind of get the comparison of what the opposite team's doing. So sometimes when you look at that, like you were saying earlier, Austin, you're seeing the weight difference of throws between Team Gim versus Team Nakamura. So it could be a little tricking both teams a little bit on how their opposition is throwing too. We'll take some consideration to that while we're watching here. Now we're on first skip stones here in the third end.
And Kim Yoon-ji has a chance to get around her off-center yellow guard.
Yeah, the disadvantage of rolling out there, of course, for Nakamura is now Gim's going to have the opportunity to get in there first behind some coverage. Line's tight, as we can hear there. Really want that to walk over, though. Kind of hung out there for a bit. It didn't cut at the, like we've seen that a few times, Austin, that at least when you and I have commented on this sheet, we've seen it kind of cut over at the hog line a little bit more than that. It hasn't really been doing that as much today so far.
Not really. I think ever since last night, I think Jamie Barassa has maybe done a little different procedure with the ice for the last few draws, and that might mean the ice is reacting a little bit different towards the house.
You see Nakamura figuring out which shot they want to do. What would you do here, Austin? What shot would you go for on this?
I think I would go for the hack weight and just try to keep it on the high side and roll the shooter away. Try to keep the blank alive. I think it's a very difficult draw right now, especially since they don't really have a good feel of that path.
Well, and that draw behind it did finish enough that making that inside roll, like we were talking about earlier, to get behind everything sitting in front of the house is just a little too difficult right now. So while Team Gim's draw maybe didn't finish behind the guards perfectly like they would have hoped, it still finished enough to take away that inside roll from their opposition. So it's still kind of a semi-win there for Team Gim.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too loose about the weight either. I mean, like heavy hack max anymore, I think it's just gonna run dead straight.
Right. So you can hear the call there. Really watching this line to get it by that front yellow now. Or she's just gonna chip, and let's see where the rocks end up though.
이거 좀 가주세요.
Both stay in the rings,
이거
but
되게 안전해서.
for Team Gim now they are sitting two, and that raised guard has gone into the rings behind those covered guards on the side, those reds that we were talking about earlier. Kind of a guard for your life situation for Team Gim here, do you think?
Potentially.
여기보단 낫지 않을까?
Potentially. I still think the weight from Tanaka was maybe a little
가져가나?
soft. I think it was more like
가서?
just a soft hack.
들어가는 건 별로.
Okay.
And not surprisingly,
안전해서.
it did curl up a little bit more.
네, 5.
혹시 아웃?
Like
언니,
Team
이거
Gim
근데
honestly
이거
doesn't have to
들어오고
guard.
그대로
Like they
두는
can
거.
play a guard if they really want to
여기
steal,
잡았어.
or they could even put a third one in the house now at this stage of the end.
Yep.
조금 잘 잡히긴 하네.
Yeah, good call. You have two options here, right? You have the guard, like we're seeing right there where the broom's being
조금
placed. So
틀렸어요.
thanks for that.
언니,
Always
멀지만
appreciate
않게
it.
봐주세요.
Or you could go around everything on that other side and sit the 3. But I think this might be a little bit of a scoreboard watching too. You're up 2-0. This is the third end. They would love to hold Nakamura to 1 here and then take Hammer back, obviously, in the even ends.
얘 조금만 더 잡아줄래?
Yeah, the guard almost seems a bit more of an aggressive call to me, but it's definitely not wrong.
Yeah, neither option really is sounding that bad if you're a Team Gim fan right now. So as you see here, final rock for Team Gim here in end number 3.
라인 괜찮아. 레이트만. 라인 좋아. 아직 5시면 좋아요.
타이트해져.
오자. 계속
Line looks
오면
close
돼요.
on this.
라인 좋아, 계속.
푸시해야 돼.
라인 좋아, 계속. 푸시.
푸시해야 돼.
언니 푸시 좀
푸시해야 돼.
오면 돼.
푸시 더 해야 돼. 더 해야 돼. 더.
Look at that.
네.
Nicely done. Really nice guard right there. Covering that shot rock, really nice on the 4.
Yeah, yeah,
Pretty much leaving
There's a-
Nakamura just the draw in there to score her 1. D. Hopley, welcome to the chat there, cheering for Team Gim from Leduc. D, always a great curling super fan. Toss her a follow on social, by the way, at Scotty's Chicken. I'm going to give her some props. If you've ever been to a curling event live, a Briar, Scotty's, a Slam, anything like that, you will have seen D with the lovely chicken hat. So D, thanks for joining us on this holiday Monday, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yes, indeed. She's always someone I look forward to seeing whenever I happen to go to a big level, high level event.
Definitely. We miss her here this weekend. So here we go. Last rock out of the hand for Team Nakamura. They are facing the 2. But they do have the draw right there to the full 4 foot to score their single.
4초 3.
Weight looks pretty good.
Yep. Got the call. A nice finish right there. And there you go. Right to the side of the button there. Beautiful shot for Team Nakamura to get them on the board. They now trail Team Gim 2-1 after 3. We'll be back with your 4th end action here at the Autumn Gold Curling Classic. Team Gim from Korea will have hammer. welcome back. We are here for draw number 4 of the final of the Curler's Corner Autumn Gold Curling Classic. And before we go into this end, let's just do a quick shout out to ACR Media, one of our sponsors here at the annual classic. They are also our sponsor on sheet number 5, which is the sheet that we are watching on, our viewing sheet, which we have now renamed the Austin sheet. And Austin, ACR Media, you're pretty familiar with that company, are you not?
Yeah, me and my grandfather started that last year, kind of starting to gain a bit more traction in the curling community. Basically, the biggest keys to our business, to our company, is analysis, communication, and reasoning. I am a massive stats head when it comes to curling, so I'm always analyzing different things on the ice. And also just building communication with people, sponsors, staff and curling clubs, stuff like that.
이제 와. 이제 와.
Excellent. We love the work that you're doing. And if people are interested in learning more about ACR Media, how can they find you? Do you have anywhere that they can find you? A website, social media? What do you guys work on if people want to get in contact with you?
We don't really have social media, but we are
That's fair.
still working on a website.
Awesome.
It's getting a little hard right now because we're trying to figure out some little issues, but at some point we'll be able to get them to you and get the site up, and you can see anything that you want to see in terms of curling, stats, history, all that.
Excellent. So stay tuned there, curling fans. You've got a little preview drop here from Austin that something big is going to be coming soon from ACR Media. And of course, Austin, thank you and your grandfather for being here and being a sponsor of this event.
조금 다르게 내려볼까?
So no one laid a brush to that draw attempt there. Hey, they kind of walked it down there, and it's going to go through the house. Bit of a missed opportunity there for Nakamura, but one thing I have noticed about this team, been watching them for a couple days, is I love they have a really good attitude on the ice, as you see. A lot of smiling, a lot of high fives, each other, very supportive of one another, even with little misses like that. So gotta like the positivity.
네.
Plus, I love the jackets, love the honeycombs.
이거 열에 있지 않나?
And fun fact, Team Gim is currently wearing their uniforms from last season. They do have new uniforms on the way, but they actually have to redo them as there are a couple little issues that they need to fix. So for now, they're just wearing last year's apparel. Chance for Team Gim to kind of sort of split the rings and try to set up their deuce early on here.
Yeah, good opportunity when you have hammer and you're up 1 already.
열하나.
And you're in the even end on top of it, so early advantage, of course, for Team Gim right now.
좋아, 좋아.
And we have some curling super fans popping into the chat. Of course, first of all, Cheryl Laporte from BC. Hi all, go Team Nakamura.
Yeah, right on.
And of course, curling fan extraordinaire, Miss Megan Edwards.
안 봤어요.
Yeah, welcome to both of you. And of course, welcome to everybody that's joining us in the chat. Love having you here. Share it out with your curling friends to join us if they're not already in the chat with us. Hit the heart button. Let us know that you're enjoying the coverage. Whether or not you're enjoying Austin commentary, but the important thing is, of course, enjoying the action in front of you from our 2 outstanding finalists.
And it's definitely time for Team Nakamura to try to change things up in this sense. So they have their second Haruka playing
네.
just a bumper weight hit and roll underneath their center guard.
Yep. Yeah, good opportunity to bring that center guard into play to their advantage if they can. There's the center guard, you see. Here's the hit and roll. Just a little bit too much. Nice sweep there by Gim to get that pass and to be out. It is just biting on the back, but of course, as you can see, the yellow is out counting it right now. So Gim still with an opportunity to split the rings here to sitter 2.
Yeah, they've been playing very well the first few ends. For most of the games I've seen from them, they normally follow a trend of in the first 4 ends or so, they're maybe a little shaky, kind of getting used to ice conditions. And once they get into the second half, the last 3 ends of the game, they just turn it up and they're on fire.
They are definitely a powerhouse in the second half of their games. It's often where we see them, like you just said, pull away from their opposition. So if you're going to have your best chance to beat them, you really need to get on them in the first 4 ends. So you're them see Team Gim wanting to bring this back a little bit more, set up no double, make the hit and roll to the center guard that much more difficult as well. And the expected call from Team Nakamura, as we've been talking about, the hit and roll, of course, for that center guard. They put it there for reasons. They're going to want to use it, right?
Yeah. Again, this is a very good, impressive young team from Japan. One thing that I would say in the future is sometimes just make sure you're maybe keeping your hit weights down a little bit, because sometimes you can just float them out and they will run dead straight and they're not going to do what you want them to do. So sometimes just keep track of that.
And hitting on the nose there.
10번.
Look for the same from Kim Suji.
Yep. Yeah, quite happy to kind of just exchange the color of the rocks here for a few rocks for Team Gim. They're not going to be complaining about that.
10초.
And of course, somebody in the chat talking about the mixed doubles team of Chiaki Matsumura and Yasumasa Tanida.
Yep.
They won the mixed doubles Super Series event in Sherwood Park yesterday.
They did. The knocking off Walker Myers, I believe, in that finale.
Yep.
Yep.
Love this comment from Jared Jenkins. James is an absolute stud on the mic. Look out, thick router.
I didn't pay Jared to say that, just so everyone's aware. I don't even know who this Jared Jenkins is. Just kidding. Thanks, Jared. Appreciate the love, man. Jared may work with me in my day job, so maybe a little familiar. Also a curler, though, should give him a shout out. He was just competing this past weekend in Airdrie. Jared is a skip of his own team on the men's tour out of Alberta. Used to play with Ryan. Look at this. It's the connectivity piece. And of course, Mama Parent is sitting up here running the cameras right now with us tonight. So look at small world, but a great world. This is why we love curling. Everyone's somehow connected and knows each other in one way or another. Gotta love it.
Yeah. And we finally get that hit and roll. Beautiful shot by Mayorti.
I've been waiting for these nice hit and rolls, right, Austin?
Absolutely.
Nice. So what's Gim's calling this one there, Austin?
Just hack weight around the guard. Try to bump the red rock out. Don't want to roll too far over to the right, because that could set up a double.
There you can see the sweeping going on there. Nicely by. It's a really good line call there, really good sweep to hold it and as we've been saying from the beginning, just great communication from Team Gim on these shots, especially when they're tight like that. And Austin, you and I have talked about that a few times in other games we've come to. Communication is key. That's how you build success.
Absolutely. And I got a question.
Yes.
So what does Austin think about how well the Asian teams do against Canadians?
Great question.
I love it, and I think one of the big reasons is they find ways to compete in Canada so much that they face the Canadian teams on a regular basis and very often beat them. So it's really not a surprise this whole weekend that we're seeing a lot of Japanese teams and Asian teams, even Korean teams like Team Gim in this example, doing very well and making it deep in finals of these types of events.
And on the Asian teams, too, we also welcome back our Chinese teams, too. We're seeing the men's teams competing in Airdrie this weekend. They both made the playoffs. We've seen the two Chinese women's teams, competing this past weekend at Stu Sales as well. They've both won tournaments already this season. So we're definitely seeing China back in the grab as well on the Asian side of it.
And
big miss there, though. Hey, Austin?
That definitely was a big miss. Like way too much weight on that.
주고 돌려 때리는 거.
Maybe also floated with the release as well.
Big advantage here for Team Gim, right? There you go. Yep. That was the plan. The same play call they had before of just splitting the rings when they were going for their two.
어려울 수도 있어.
Split the rings again here to keep that multi-score number potentially on the board for them right now. Do you like this call, Austin?
I think I do. You want to stay away from the center guard. You don't
Yep.
want to
앞에는 그
be
대신
around.
안
If
돼.
you go around it in back four, that's an absolute disaster. So splitting the rings, keep it away from there. Set up two, maybe even three in this case right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to give an advantage back to Nakamura after that miss, right? Apply the pressure with Hammer here and kind of.
가야 된다. 이걸
얘들아 그냥 와야 돼.
They're probably a little bit salivating that they have the opportunity here in the fourth end to blow this game a little open with Hammer.
여기까지.
I'll tell you something. I would be salivating too if I was in that situation.
아, 끝까지 와야 돼. 끝까지 와야 돼. 하이 계속 얘나
Curling, one sport where we get to use the word salivating in a nice, positive, fun way.
계속.
Yeah,
개인이 살려라.
Nice spot right there.
yeah, great
drop.
sweep by the front end there.
Yeah.
언니.
괜찮아.
잘했어. 감사합니다.
So same thing we've seen, same game plan we've been talking about for this end though. Nakamura obviously going to go for two, the hit and roll again, try to get behind that front red, try to get out of this end.
Hey, what of people in the chat giving a bit of a shout out to Curling Central? My buddy Sean somewhere over there.
Right on, yep.
Of course, he's been broadcasting a lot of the Team Gim games. He's actually a proud sponsor of that team.
He is, yeah, good call. Good point there too, just throw out, we love all of our sponsors that support not only our events, our tour events like this one here at the Autumn Gold Curling Classic, but all those sponsors that you see on our team's jerseys, both these two teams on the ice, but all of the teams that you've been watching all weekend. Thank you to anybody who goes out and sponsors a team and gives back to the sport. And of course, as curling fans and those watching, if you see a sponsor name on your favorite team or at an event, go out, support that company and that organization and give them thanks for supporting the sport of curling. Oh, nice attempt there, though. That was a nice hit and roll. Obviously not behind the corner, but good attempt.
Or not behind the center.
Or
you should
center,
say.
I mean, sorry. Boy, it's been a long weekend, hasn't it, Austin?
Oh, it has been for sure.
I promise we're watching. I promise we're paying attention there, folks. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Let's blame Thanksgiving Turkey Monday. Let's blame Turkey Day.
Yeah. But Gim Yoon-ji would absolutely love to roll away from that center guard. She wants nothing to do with that guard.
Yeah. Do
Okay.
the exact opposite that Nakamura just pulled off.
Absolutely. Team Gim just wants to keep her rocks spread out on the wings, which she has hammer. Again, just a nice control weight, but she has overthrown a couple of hits so far, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes.
That went from clean to sweep hard really fast out of her hand.
언니 이거 계속 와야 돼 계속. 일단 계속.
오케이. 10초 2.
And with pretty much a nose hit there, so good opportunity though for Nakamura to maybe get the small inside flop behind that center guard, Austin.
Yeah. It'll be a very tricky shot, though. She'll have to throw less weight than Yoonji just threw here. Just something that's like a backline to hack.
잡았나 봐요. 맞아.
And she's going to be really careful because, you know, if you're going to go and attempt to make that shot, I think this is what they're going to come down and talk about. You got to watch that red one because if you tick on that top red, it would be an open draw for 4 for Gim. So
Yeah. And if Team Gim were to get 4 or even 3 in this case, it could be a bit of a game breaker at this point.
yeah. Yeah, see here, really good conversation going on here on what Team Nakamura wants to do. Do you make the attempt there? Do you try to offset and maybe freeze down to those corner yellows and try to cut down the damage and hold Team Gim potentially to 2, minimize your risk?
I really don't think there's a double necessarily there.
No.
because it goes right onto the red and just jams there. It might spin out still, but you're going to have to throw a lot of weight in order to do that.
Yeah, great camera angle there. Thank you, team camera. You can see exactly the distance in between that cluster of 3 at the back. Good opportunity, though. Nakamura can come down. I think maybe just potentially freezing on that top yellow there, Austin, and then cutting down damage here. What do you think about that idea?
It's a good call, but a very tricky shot
risky
to execute. Yeah.
If it's not made perfect, you could give up the 4 spot here, right?
Absolutely.
I'm totally guessing at what they called, obviously. I don't speak Japanese, unfortunately. So if anyone in the chat heard anything different, please let us know. We're going on kind of like we said earlier, where the players are putting the brush and just on body language and sign language that they're using.
Looks like they're just playing a little bit of a hit, maybe a hit and roll on that second shot yellow right now.
Yeah, with that weight. Good call.
그냥 가야 돼. 무조건 가. 근데 가야 돼.
Gonna make contact, but does get the jam, unfortunately. So it will be an open draw to a minimum full 12 foot for the 3 here. This is Gim's final shot in the 4th end. So chance to blow this game a little bit more over and pad the lead.
네, 언니 거 똑같이 잡아도
Yeah, I think just too many errors in this end from Team Nakamura.
예은이 언니랑
Team
똑같이
Kim
잡았어요.
playing good,
좋아요.
steady,
이거 있으니까.
making a lot of shots, making sure that they set things up well for themselves.
Yeah, good consistency out of Team Gim in this end.
14 중반?
웨이트 괜찮아?
And there we go. The consistent look that we have out of Team Gim, the nice clearing of the pathway before every shot in the final. So nicely done there. Kind of goes into their normal pre-game or pre-shot, I should say, routine.
It's the same every single time, and that's what it's got to be. It's got to
Yep.
be consistent.
Yep. Almost robotic in it, what it is, and I mean that in a very positive, good way. Just a smart way of how they manage every shot and every rock.
라인 좋아요, 웨이트만. 라인 좋아요.
Of course, brooms down, just making sure, navigating this nicely.
웨이트만. 더 있어주세요. 클린.
And there it is, just going to come sit down right on top of their own yellow, and that will be the 3 ball. We will toss a 3 on the board. Got some claps from up here in the gallery. Put a 3 on the board, and Team Gim will now increase their lead to 5-1 at the halfway point here at the Autumn Gold Curling Classic final. We'll be back with end number 5 action. Japan's Team Nakamura will have hammer and will look to make a comeback here in the second half of this game. And welcome back to end number 5 here at the final of the Autumn Gold Curling Classic. And again, we want to just thank our sponsors and our supporters of the annual Autumn Gold Curling Classic. So, of course, thank you to the Westin. Many of the teams have been staying there, getting their good night's rest and good sleep. So thank you to them being our host hotel, Coronado Ventures, Olsen Curling, Global, Enigma Resources Limited, Print 3, and Rock Watcher, thank you for supporting curling and, of course, supporting the annual Autumn Gold Curling Classic. You help make this event just as much of a success as anyone else. So thank you for your support as a sponsor and a supporter.
So we got
Yeah, go for it, Austin. No,
Yeah.
my bad.
we got multiple fans in the chat definitely cheering for Team Nakamura to come back in this game. Of course, you got to remember that they had a lot tougher route to this final than Team Gim did.
Definitely.
And they've definitely fought their way through to this point, so we'll see how much of a game they can make out of this.
Yes, I believe for Team Nakamura, this is their 10th game this weekend. Team Gim coming from the A side, so this is only their 7th, but 3 extra games is a lot of games, and all back-to-back. Like we said, the late night from last night, too, hey?
And we just got a comment from Sonokeo. Not really sure how to pronounce that necessarily, but now in Japan, world rankings greatly affect getting the spot slash season of the Japan Championship, and a big boom coming again after the good results at the Olympics.
Most definitely, for sure, we're seeing that. We've seen that on tour this season. We have a number of outstanding Japanese teams in the men's and the women's game, of course, playing extremely good curling and have been playing a lot of events to get going. But there's a good reason why, because those world rankings are impacting the Japanese championships going forward. So that's why we're seeing them out on the ice and stepping up and getting those big points at the events they're entering. Thanks for adding that comment. That's a really good important thing to know. That was just a fun fade to black, just for effect. Just testing, make sure. See, a little bit of turkey tired. Even even those cameras, folks, get a little turkey tired up there in the rafters here at the Calgary Curling Club.
Oh yeah.
They've been working hard. Those eyes are working really hard up in the rafters.
Absolutely.
Nice come around there from Team Nakamura, getting around that. There we go, Austin, our corner guard. This might be the end it happens.
Finally, after 4 days.
And 4 ends out of a final.
Yeah.
Corner guards are finally going to come into play for us.
Oh, yeah.
And now we've probably jinxed it for us. That was a beautiful shot. Nice draw around that corner guard there.
Very well done there. Thinking Team Gem might try to either raise one of their guards or slash it over to that red. Of course, they cannot remove the red corner guards, but they technically can remove their own guards as well.
Yeah, good call. And we saw that they're really good lining up exactly where to shoot, where do you want to make contact on your front yellow there to maybe shoot it over, like you were saying, Austin, to take out that red that was just thrown. There we go. Nice camera angle right there to see what happens. Look at that. Oh. Great attempt, though. Interesting what it does, though, when you look at the top. The yellow one goes over to sit behind that red corner, kind of securing them next to each other. And the yellow rock goes into the house and is now a little bit sitting behind the two in the front. So that front red guard now isn't really usable for Nakamura in case of a tap or a run back, I should say.
Yep. So.
Good attempt, though.
Yeah. Team Nakamura definitely going to try to come around those staggered guards right at the moment.
Yep.
Maybe even freezing to the shot rock would also be a decent result.
And we should say on the flip side of it as well, too, with those two rocks being right against each other at the front, there's those two guards that we were just talking about. Also not usable for Team Gim if they ever have to do a run back with them as well. So it kind of minimizes them. You give a good opportunity to get behind it first. There we go.
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily about getting shot rock right now.
Good call.
Making sure you get something underneath those staggered corners that Team Gim will have to deal with.
이렇게 이거 롤보단 앞에 여는 게 낫죠?
롤 들어가.
네.
I think Team Gim's pretty happy to get rid of those two in the front, or did he start going around again?
I would absolutely just peel those two guards off.
Yep.
한 60이면 되나?
붙어 있어요.
만
They are really frozen and stuck on each other, though, hey?
Yeah.
Almost glued on. I
But-
have a
but-
feeling we're going to
yeah.
see them go away.
Yeah.
Pretty confident.
Yeah.
Here comes some heat down the ice right now.
가자 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 가자. 언니 가요?
Boom. There goes that. Look at where the front yellow goes.
보내라고? 보내라고. 하지 말라는 줄 알았어.
아야.
There you saw both teams both sweeping that yellow rock in the back, hey? Not often we always see the opposing teams sweeping the same rock,
No.
but for different reasons of why they're doing it, maybe, Austin?
Yeah. It's going to give Haruka a chance to make a freeze now. Now this time you definitely go for the freeze. Maybe even tuck a piece under that red rock that is biting the 8-foot right now.
Yeah, good opportunity to use that red rock in the house, like you said, as another guard on the corner side, right?
Yep.
And for Team Nakamura, they're obviously looking to score multiple points here. Minimum of 2, but would really love to try to pick up a 3-ball here and get right back in this game, trailing 5-1. And we are in the 5th end, remember. 8 end games, of course, for
Yep.
a tour event.
Yep. Topping it a little bit, not necessarily what they wanted to do.
And the shot rock says, as you can see, they're completely open right now,
일단
too.
봉 하나 정도는 있어요. 범퍼?
너무 약하게는 안 갔으면 좋겠어.
나도 타입하면 아프리카 봐도 되니까.
컨트롤? 일단 공간은 이거밖에 없긴 해요. 봉 하나 정도.
Oh man, it looks like someone put a crying emoji in the chat.
A good point, though, there. It seems they're crying because they're working. We should say, obviously, today is a holiday here in Canada for Thanksgiving weekend, but not a holiday everywhere around the world. So people that are watching, if you're outside of Canada, you may be, quote-unquote, at work watching some curling today, if you can. So if you are doing that, thank you for joining us on a working Monday for you. We appreciate it. So we'll give thanks to you on our Thanksgiving Monday for joining us.
아직 예은이 언니 많아요.
And if you are working, especially in an office, don't have this on too loud or your boss might get upset.
Good call. Austin wants to try to keep you employed. We don't want anyone getting in trouble.
Exactly.
이렇게 자꾸 세. 그래요?
Pretty good shot by
Yep.
Kim Min-ji, but it gives a little bit of an opportunity. There's a couple different places that
우리가 1-3.
Team Nakamura can roll in this shot.
물 좀 먹어.
So here we see Team Nakamura, all four coming down to the house to have a good conversation of what they want to do. This is a pretty critical time here
어디 거 아니야?
in this end and in this game. They want to make sure they can, like we said earlier, try to score their multiple points. Great camera angle right there to show who's what shot. So Team Gim's sitting first and second. Team Nakamura, that red at the top, is third shot right now. And then that yellow in the back is fourth.
And they've actually decided on a freeze. I don't think this is a bad call.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you make the freeze really well. Team Gim will have to deal with it.
Yep.
Probably spilling that yellow out in the process as well.
Yeah, good call.
1-4.
Like Austin was saying earlier, nice, patient, pre-shot routine from Team Nakamura, taking their time. Yeah, we're gonna need to put some brushes down on the ice to sweep this in there. Unfortunately, it's gonna come up light, and we'll be sitting only 5th shot overall. That's going to give a huge advantage to Gim now.
And I think they were way too cautious sweeping that rock.
인산.
Yeah, they didn't go too hard on it right from the beginning either, right?
No.
Kind of let it wait for a bit, and that might have cost them from being able to drag it that extra distance to get it down to getting that freeze that they were looking for.
Kind of like that last shot in the 2011 World Final with Amber Holland. She had a chance to make a draw to stay in the game against Annette Norberg, but Heather Kalinchuk and Tammy Schneider just left it a little too long and it came up light. Sorry to everyone if you're watching this. I had to bring that up.
So they got the hit and roll, but they did get the jam in the back. So now Team Gim still sitting 3 though, but that jam, depending on what happens here in these last couple rocks, could still come into play with that back red. Something to watch out for as this end progresses.
안 받았나 봐요. 어머.
And I think a call that I really like right now is playing control to normal weight on the red and maybe making the double on those 2 yellows.
I think right now it appears they're looking more at either a freeze or just a tap to that yellow on the side of the button there. Not a bad call either. But it potentially the risk is, of course, shrinking down your scoring area when you're trying to score 2.
Absolutely. I'm not a huge fan of this call, to be completely honest, because it does basically close down the scoring area a bit.
As you see, sorry, Austin, with the last rock count here, this is the last third stones of this end, so we still have both skippers to come next.
Again, I'm going to use this word again. I would be salivating at the chance to make that little raised double on the reds onto the red onto the 2 yellows there.
We'll pay attention to see how this rock finishes too, with the broom being mid 12 foot over there. And see if it does cut in enough like they're calling. Swept the whole way down. And here's where we're looking to see how much it breaks. Do come down to it, but come on the outside of the rock, not the inside of the rock. There's a good angle of it as well there too, and what you'd see from the hack.
Still not really too sure that Yoonji would want to play any weight at it, because that yellow could clip out that back yellow on the way by there too.
A lot of jam possibilities at the back of the house right now. I don't know how those angles are set up. Hey, Austin?
Yeah.
You're right. You gotta. But kind of both teams are gonna have to watch that with these skip stones, depending on where these rocks are going. There's a perfect angle right there from our camera team, showing those jam possibilities on both sides of the house right now.
Yeah.
여덟 잡아도 될 것 같아요. 안쪽도 있으니까.
It's a good team chat here.
네, 초반.
I'm just giving everyone an update about where I might
이 정도만 봐주세요.
be next week. I could potentially be watching some mixed doubles with my grandfather. If we'll get back to BC and then get back to Chilliwack for the 2nd straight mixed doubles Super Series event.
Awesome.
Maybe tune in to that, so keep an eye out for me there if you're anywhere around Chilliwack. Because technically I do have to say that BC is my home province, and of course James also not originally coming from Alberta, but he's been living here for quite a while. He's originally a Regina boy.
Yep, that is correct. Sasky boy, born and raised, but yep, been in Alberta for a number of years now. It's kind of become the second home. Same thing here that we just saw. Watch the finish here.
Didn't quite curl enough in my opinion.
Yes, kind of the same thing that we saw from Nakamura's shot as well, right? Now we've got that little angle slash of the 3 of them next to each other, all kind of stuck together like glue.
Just like that song by Sugarland.
Nicely done. See, folks, you set them up, and then Austin hits the home run right there with the reference. Love it, Austin. I love that you got that.
They're looking at maybe playing the top red and making the double on those 2 yellows. I don't hate that call, but I'm also interested in maybe seeing if they'll play that angle slash there that could also clip that back yellow as well.
Yeah, these slashes and these hits are becoming more and more dangerous with more rocks in play, and with, like we were just saying before, the last rock being thrown with that little bit of garbage at the back of the house there. Those back house of the rocks could come into play here with some jam possibilities. Both teams gotta be on a watchful eye for that.
네.
Absolutely. This is where
It's a clutch. This is gonna be a clutch rock here for this end.
people sometimes underestimate how important understanding angles is in the sport of curling.
Definitely, 100%.
Especially when teams put a lot of rocks in play in a certain end, there will be angles and you really have to know exactly where you need to hit your rocks. There is a bit of mathematical prowess involved in these types of situations for sure.
Yep, most definitely. Hope everyone paid attention in geometry class. If you're gonna be a curler at this high level, you're gonna have to start paying attention, like Austin said, like those angles. If you didn't pay attention to geometry class, I'd highly recommend hitting up a billiards pool table and pulling the double like Mr. Nicholas Adine does. When you see him not on the ice curling, you can definitely see him in a pool hall crushing some great billiards action.
Absolutely. Now with the ice that Nakamura is taking, it doesn't look like they're going to throw a lot of weight at this.
Yep. Looking to just kind of rejig those rocks in the house right now. Hey, Austin?
Yeah.
See if they can get a different setup, different alignment that works to their advantage for their last rock.
Yeah, it looks like this is about a bumper-ish weight.
Nice full sweep there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, hands up. Nicely done. They are sitting shot now. They've broken apart the rocks there, so really nice shot from Team Nakamura.
And it's very hard to get rid of that shot rock redstone right now because it's going to go right back into that yellow rock.
Yeah, that was a really nice shot.
That actually did seem like a pretty wise call to soften the weight a little bit to get a little bit of an inside roll as well.
Yeah, the reconfiguration of the rocks now after that shot have really shifted a little bit more into Nakamura's advantage here. And like we said, they definitely want to get some points on the board, trailing by 4 now. A 2 here is probably the minimum of a clutch to stay in this game. Got to get at least 2 here.
Yeah.
I know it is only the 5th end and we still have got some ends to play, but as we talked about at the very beginning of this game, Team Gim is one of those teams where they come on strong in the second half, and when they start building a lead, they are very difficult to come back against. So Nakamura is not going to want to let them get too far in front, and you're going to want to stay with them as far as possible as the game gets deeper.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Isn't that about the 3rd or the 4th time we've done that tonight?
It's our little agreeance. Again, good team chat here. Not wanting to rush anything, as you know, with tour events like this, there are no time clocks, so they are taking their time. Knowing that they have a good opportunity here to potentially even force Nakamura's hand, which would be a big win for Team Gim. They'd love to only hold Nakamura to 1, if not steal even, to try to really put the vice grips on them here in the 5th end.
Yeah, they can't really throw any sort of weight at those top rocks, so just going to try to draw around them, try to get shot rock.
Yep.
Because
shrink the opportunity, shrink the scoring space.
Yeah, because if they ever got it perfectly under, the angles don't necessarily look all that good for Team Nakamura.
Right.
잘 잡혀서 부르면 진짜 괜찮아. 웨이트만 보면 될 것 같아.
So there you go, decision made, Team Gim. As see, Skipper goes down first. Both front ends cleaning behind her, getting ready for a big final rock for Team Gim here in end number 5. Of course, as you can see, Nakamura will have hammer throwing red.
And again, if this rock is buried underneath Suzuki, or Tanaka, I should say. Sorry about that. The only choice that she could have is just try to Kadriana Lot or Kadriana Sahidek a rock right in onto the pin for the single point. Of course, referencing that amazing draw that she made to win with Colton Lott in the Calgary Bubble in the game of the Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship.
Yep.
15초다.
Blocks the path on that side though now.
Yeah, and just so you know, I still kind of have Yumi Suzuki on my mind, so that's kind of why I slipped up there.
So is there the shot there to maybe get that double potentially for 3? What do you think here, Austin?
I don't
That
really
slash
see
yellow? I think it might jam in the back there, hey?
I'm not completely sold on it. I think I would just maybe draw or get a little bit of a nudge off of that yellow and roll into the 4-foot.
Just kind of take your 2 and see what you can do in then 6.
Yeah.
I like the idea, though, of here Team Nakamura taking the time, looking at every angle possible, thinking it all out. They know they're down 5-1. It's the 5th end. They do have hammer. They know they've got at least 1 point in their pocket right now. They want to try to get as many points on the board as possible, so no rush. Figure out what's the best decision.
And yeah, they do have to draw the other way where they just need a piece of the 4, so they're going to play that.
Yep. And also on that, coming that way too, she does have backing, right? So worst case, she can come down to that back yellow. It would still be shot. They would still get their 2. So smart call here. Gets them back in the game. They'd only be down 2 in the 6th.
오히려 드로우에 비해 테이크가 좀 떨어지는 것 같은데.
So here we go. Last draw coming here, and end number 5 from Team Nakamura, looking for the draw to the 4-foot to score 2. They seem to like it coming down. Now they'll just bring it right to that back, like we're talking about, Austin. Yeah, right to that back yellow almost if needed, but there you go.
Yeah, fantastic draw by Misaki Tanaka for the 2.
Yeah, puts the 2 on the board, cuts the deficit in half, and now Nakamura gets it down to only 2. Team Gim leads 5-3 after 5, but the Koreans and defending champions will have hammer when we come back for end number 6. We are back for end number 6 action. Team Gim leading Team Nakamura 5-3 in their final of the Curlers Corner Autumn Gold Curling Classic. And Team Gim from Korea will have hammer here in the 6th end.
And here is the point of the game where leads definitely need to be accurate. Especially teams that are down without the hammer in the sort of situation. Of course, the no-tick zone rule comes into play. Very nice center guard there by the lead for Team Nakamura.
Matt, we'll give a 5 out of 5 on that shot.
Yes, we would.
Oh, I love the comment in the chat there. Everyone may be wondering when you're looking at the chat and you see the emojis for teams. There you go. We're getting the example definition of what it means. Team Fujisawa, the Onion Girls, Team Kim, the Garlic Girls, Team Nakamura, the Apple Girls, and Team Gim, question mark, what girls? What emoji can we give to Team Gim? Love the question there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that comment. That's one of my favorite comments I've seen all weekend, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Miori kind of thought about what I would possibly think if she played the hit and roll here. I really don't like the call. It's a good decision to try to draw around that center guard right now.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get one full 4 under cover.
Yeah, Nakamura's going to probably have to go full on, Ray, with a full press here. And without having Hammer trailing by 2, you really are just going to want to go in, kind of pick the pocket of Team Gim as best you can here.
And fun fact, in this type of scenario earlier in the semifinals, Team Gim had the Hammer in the 6th end. In a similar scenario, the center guards were made very nicely by the Beth Peterson lead, Melissa Gordon-Kurz, and Team Peterson ended up sealing 2 in that end.
They did. Team Gim fans might not be liking that too much, that reference right now.
Of course, Team Gim did reply with 3 in the 7th
That's right.
to shut them out of rocks.
That's right, that's right.
Coming home.
Bring those hearts back to us now, Austin. It's a good thing no one can dislike one comment that we say. Good thing YouTube doesn't allow for that kind of.
Yeah.
We might have a few coming from things we've said over the last 4 days.
Maybe.
All hearts, folks. Give us all the love.
That's not a good placement for that guard right there. It's way too close together, and it's going to give Kim Soo-ji a very makeable double peel later in the end.
Yeah. So we'll see Team Gim just head out to the opposite side of the sheet right now. Go play, bring some play into the wings away from those guards right now. There we go. So we've got some wing play here, Austin. No corner guards, but we've got some play out to the wings, at least for one rock.
Yeah. This is the time. This is basically feels like a must-make at this point of the end for Team Nakamura. Make the come around.
Yeah, a beautiful come around, even though it is first of second stones here in the 6th end. A beautiful come around here really can set the tone for them to start picking the pocket of Team Gim in this end. So weird to say sometimes of how important a clutch shot is when you're at the first of second stones, but this is a good example of that. It's going to get around the front ones okay. It's going to be about how it finishes now. Should be able to tuck it around for shot. Whew. Wow, that is pretty close. You want to place bets on that one there, Austin?
I don't. I do not.
Good, I'm glad you don't, because then I don't want to either. I was hoping you'd say no, because then I would have to as well.
Yeah. But no matter who is shot, Kim Soo-ji is definitely playing that double peel now.
Yeah, the shot that you called a few rocks ago. This is what we'd expect to happen. Oh!
Job well done there.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful shot right there. Cleans up the open, the front yard of the house.
That's the thing in curling. Sometimes you just got to think 1, 2, maybe even 5 or 6 shots ahead in some of these scenarios.
Yep, definitely. Just like chess, right?
Yeah.
Always think a few shots ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, they call it chess on ice for a reason,
That's
buddy.
right. Yep, good call. See again, set him up, hit the home run. Here we see Nakamura going to make the attempt to come around, or are they just doing the center guard? I think just center guard here, right?
Yeah, they're
Is that
just
what we're
playing
calling?
the guard. Yeah.
Yep. Put it right on that center line. A little bit higher than what they were originally calling, I think, Austin? They want
Yeah.
that a little bit deeper?
저 왔지?
Well, they'll get away with it because Team Gim is still just gonna peel it. They're not gonna take too many risks right now.
Yeah.
저거 너무 앞에야.
네.
I think Gim is probably pretty happy to play the guard peel here in the 6th end
Yep.
with the lead.
Yep.
인턴 가자.
인사? 네.
땀나는 게 더 별로라.
네.
So there you see the call there. They're just switching the turn. And there it goes. And we have a clean front once again.
Yep. Again, just play another guard here.
Yep.
Still too early to try and make too much of a move right now.
Yeah. We're only in first of third stones here in the 6th end. See a few more guard peel combos, I think, coming up here, Austin.
Yep. Of course, Team Gim technically the second career Autumn Gold champion that has come from Asia. Of course, the first being the one and only Bingyu Betty Wang.
Correct. And her win here was when this event was also part of the Grand Slam of Curling Tour.
Yeah.
She actually, that win was the first non-Canadian team to win at the time
Yeah.
the Grand Slam of Curling Championship. So good reference there.
Yeah. And of course, the last couple years we've actually had international champions. Of course, 2
Yep.
years ago we had Tabitha Peterson of the U.S. winning this title.
Also a quarterfinalist here this year.
Yes. Lost a really tight one to Corinne Brown.
Mhm.
It's good to see both her and Fujisawa back after the schedule conflicts that we had last year with the Pan Continental Championships.
And the Grand Slam of Curling over this Thanksgiving weekend. So it's great to have this event back on our Thanksgiving weekend tradition as well. Good point, though, too, Austin, on raising with Team Fujisawa, Team Tabitha, and with Team Gim. All three are in preparation mode for the upcoming Pan Continental Curling Championships. Those are the three designates that will represent those three nations coming up in Kelowna in a few weeks. And of course, that will be who Team Anderson will be drawing against as Team Canada, looking to book spots in the upcoming World Championships with a good result there.
Yeah, I think we're pretty sure about who the Final Four are going to be on that side for sure.
Trying to be neutral here, Austin. Trying to give respect. Come on now. We love all the teams that compete at the Pan Continental Curling Championships. Of course, they'll
True.
be joined by Australia, New Zealand. I believe Chinese Taipei will be there, and so will Mexico, I believe, for the women got called up.
Yeah, because Kazakhstan had to withdraw due to
That's
travel
right.
difficulties.
Yep.
But
So, of course, yep, keep going.
But it is really cool to see countries like Mexico and Guyana on the men's side actually get to debut in the A division
That's
this
right.
year, the Pan
Yep.
Continental Championship.
Yeah, Chinese Taipei won the women's B side last year, and as you said, Guyana won the A side for the men's, and then they defeated Mexico on the women's side. So both of them with Kazakhstan's withdrawal brings both of them up to the A division for this year. Good opportunity for both those nations. I was at Pan Continentals last year, got to do some interviews with both those teams and talk to them both, so I know they're both going to be very excited.
Again, no disrespect to everyone else. I'm basically just telling the truth here. Thank you very much.
So here's the fight again to try to get around those front ones. We keep seeing back and forth here. Now, unfortunately, just rubbing that top red. That was the time that Nakamura was going to go for it to try to get behind, but unable to do so.
They
Bit of a mess.
got caught in between. I think they might have still been trying to play a guard, but it ended up heavy.
I was wondering that too, because I thought that was the original call, was the guard, and then it was going deep, and then, yeah, I think you're exactly right. They kind of got caught in, oh, can we drag it far enough to get in, and lost the line a little bit on making plan B happen.
우리께 맞고서 이렇게 올라가긴 해. 아니야. 괜찮아 진짜.
So if you're Team Gim, what would be your call on this shot, Austin?
저는 이거 괜찮아.
Definitely try to make the double on the reds. Don't really worry too much about spilling a shooter out here.
3번이 나을 것 같아요.
Yep, right there. There you go.
40도 괜찮죠, 언니? 네, 40 생각할게요.
Team Gim really does make our job a lot easier when they just put the burb down exactly where they want to shoot, so we know, even if we do not speak Korean. It's very helpful. So thank you, Team Gim, for helping us. Those of us in the commentator booth, much appreciated.
Indeed.
I'm all down for it when it makes our job easier.
Oh, yeah. This is a very tough shot, but it seems very easy for someone like Kim Min-ji.
수지 언니. 언니 가도 될 것 같아. 수지 언니.
Right in the
Yep,
crotch.
nicely done. Blow it all up. And look where that goes. Over the side there.
Not necessarily sure they wanted to lose one of their yellows there, but still pretty decent.
안 나갔나?
Yeah, I think they're okay with it. I think that one on the far side did touch the bumper on the sides. They're just talking about whether it's going to be removed or not. Thought it did go out as well, but neither team kind of caught it, so it's going to stay there for now.
So yeah, Tanaka is just gonna freeze to that yellow on the wings there. They kind of don't have a choice. It's kind of too late to put a guard up.
Yeah, you got to go in now. No instant replay in curling, folks. So the teams made the common agreement that neither of them was 100% convinced whether that rock is in or out. So that's why that rock is still sitting there. There we go. We'll see Team Nakamura coming down. First of skip stones here in end number 6. Team Gim with Hammer leading 5-3.
The key is to not over curl. You got to be shot rock on this this one. And one of the comments just said in the Pan-Continental B division, men's team from the Philippines. It's a former Swiss curler who participated in the World Championship, of course, referencing Mark Pfister.
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
좋아요.
He was at the World Championships in Vegas, actually, and when I was there, saw him at the pool. We may have all been sitting together. I'm going to drink poolside, by the way.
Nice.
Beautiful spot to have a World Championship in Vegas, where your patch is a beautiful poolside location. Can't complain with that.
Nope.
그냥 아웃만. 여기 잡아줘.
Oh, speaking of patches, I cannot wait to invade the Briar Patch, which is in your original hometown of Regina.
It is, yes.
네, 일단 그냥 제일 좋은 티 10까지는
Yeah,
괜찮은데.
Regina will be hosting the Briar this upcoming year in March, and of course Calgary, where we are right now, will be hosting the Scotties in February. So the Western provinces taking the Canadian Championships this year as host cities.
And of course, if you're going to at least one of the events, you'll see plenty of me in there. Maybe doing a whole bunch of different things during the event. During both events.
Yes. Hoping I will be there as well. That's the plan. Maybe get some post-game interviews with the blog and the podcast would be nice.
Yeah.
Austin and I maybe will both be there and have some fun.
Absolutely. Now, the attempted freeze definitely was light and it overcurled. So Kim Yoon-ji can split the rings and really set up a deuce.
Yeah.
예인언니 계속.
Yeah, big opportunity here to get the 2 and really just take that 2 right back and increase the lead again.
가자.
Got to get there for second.
좀만.
So the triple sweep drags it in where they like it.
4초 8.
Yep, that's okay. There you go.
Yeah. I think they wanted to drag that at least a couple feet more.
But we heard that that's okay, so I think they're still smiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're sitting pretty comfy right now with Nakamura's Team Nakamura about to throw their final stone of the end. Yes, Cheryl.
Yes.
You are right. Team Nakamura is for sure on their sweeping side of it. They are definitely tired. What you sometimes don't see off camera is you see the benches on the side of the sheets. Many times their front end have been taking a little bit of time to sit down on those benches, catch their breath, get relaxed. As we were saying earlier, with them coming out of the seaside grind from last night, they have not had a lot of time off from when their game ended last night to qualify to the back-to-back playoff games earlier today. Amazing resiliency that you can put your body through sometimes as an athlete. So props to Team Nakamura, win or lose this final. The grind to get here is worth it.
Absolutely. And every year from here on out at the Autumn Gold especially is watch out for the teams that are playing in the C qualifiers on Sunday night.
Definitely. Well, we saw 2 of them in the semifinals.
And I think this is gonna be a flash.
You may have heard the results from the from the upstairs here sitting next to us. Everyone took a deep breath in there, and fortunate flash right there for Team Nakamura. That is going to leave Team Gim the open draw for 3 here. Just got to get full 12, even just fighting the 8, and they'll be scoring their 3, and that would put the lead to 8-3.
And at this point, we would actually wait and see if Team Nakamura might want to shake hands at this point.
Yeah, the 3, you can kind of see them just on the side. They're having a little bit of a conversation just a second ago. That might be what the discussion is right now. But we'll see. Team Gim still has to make the shot, though. You still have to make their draw for your 3.
Yeah.
Here we go. Final shot. End number 6 coming from Team Gim. They've got 2 in their back pocket right now, trying to get that 3rd point. Could be a championship point potentially here.
바운스 있는 라인이에요. 클린만. 4초 2. 4초 19예요.
No mistake at all, of course. Nice draw for Team Gim. That's going to put a 3 on the board, and that is going to increase the lead for the Koreans and our defending champions. They now lead 8-3 after 6 ends of play. Team Nakamura is going to have a chat right now. We are going to stay live just for a second. We're going to see if they decide to play another end or not. If they do, well, we are more than happy to watch another end or more of play.
Yes.
Always have a good discussion here. And of course, both teams, like we've said, have played a lot already this season, and both don't take much time off. And there we go. The hands are coming out, so it will be a final here. Claps from the gallery upstairs and downstairs. Team Gim from Korea will pick up the 8-3 victory over Japan's Team Nakamura. There's the celebration from Team Gim. Very happy result for them. They qualified out of the A side. They go undefeated this week to defend the ice. They will be your repeat champions here and your 2023 Curlers Quorum Autumn Gold Curling Classic. I believe, Austin, what we are going to do is be sticking around for just a bit. We're going to take a quick little break here to show our sponsors a little bit of love again. Love the appreciation there for Team Nakamura as well. Props to them for making the final of the Seaside. We're going to go show our sponsors, and then we are going to come back for the presentation of our champions, Team Gim from Korea. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Just want James and I, our whole camera crew, everyone, just want to thank every single one of you that has watched the broadcast, not only tonight in the final, but also all weekend long. It's been a lot of fun bringing this amazing curling action to you on the Autumn Gold YouTube channel.
And there you see Team Gim celebrating with Bernice from Curler's Corner. Looking very similar to what we saw 12 months ago, of course, as the defending champs. And just on that too, as Austin thanks everybody watching, we also want to throw out a big thank you to everyone that has worked to put this this event together. Everyone from the committee, to the volunteers, to the people that have been up here in the commentary booth, to our camera crew, to those who have worked line scores, front door, the staff upstairs at the bar keeping us all nice and quenched, to our team that's downstairs feeding us with some outstanding food all weekend. It does take a village to make this happen. So thank you to anybody and everybody who has stepped up and helped make this event the success it's been this great Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. Here we see the presentation. So stay alive just to watch some of this.
Down in soup, but I think we don't want to mess it up. Yeah, I think it's good.
We get the presentation. Of course, wanting Bernice as the title sponsor. Get in that picture with them, Bernice, of course. It's a beautiful picture. Celebrating with Team Gim. And there's there you see the good celebration, the nice fun. And here comes the tradition that we see at the Autumn Gold. Team Gim would be very familiar with this from last year. There's the cash. Everyone gets a piece, and now we get what should be the big throw in the air to celebrate our champions.
Oh my gosh, that's all the money in there?
Always love this.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Just don't throw the trophy.
The best part of getting to be a champion, getting to throw that money in the air. And of course, now quickly go pick it up because it's yours. Don't want anybody to jump on the ice really fast and steal your money. You can tell they've done this before. Props to Team Gim, though, we should say as well. This is their first championship of the tour season this year. They have a quarterfinal finish, a semifinal finish, a final appearance. Now they have the title for their first of the year, and we saw what this did for them last year. They are sitting number 4 in the world, so they're going to keep that ranking, keep moving up there. Beautiful run. I love the double check. Let's make sure we don't want to miss any of those hundreds. Beautifully done. So, thank you everyone for sticking with us and watching. Again, congratulations to Team Gim. Congratulations to Team Nakamura on a great event. Best of luck to all the teams that competed this week for the rest of the season. And of course, final word off to Austin. But Austin, it's always a pleasure sitting in the booth with you. I've had a great time. Thank you for letting me be here with you. You get our final word, my friend.
It's been just an unbelievable event. It's been astonishing to meet you for the first time, James. And it's a pleasure to work with you, and hope we can reconnect in a few months in Calgary.
Most definitely, we will. All the best to everyone, and of course, those in Canada, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us on your holiday Monday. Looking forward to seeing you all again, and hey, meet us back in 12 months' time. We'll be back here for the 2024 Curler's Corner Autumn Gold Curling Classic. All the best.